Hey everyone, it's Audrey, and today I am going to be showing you guys, as I slap myself in the face with it, I'm going to be showing you guys how I made my emerald vest from the anime RWBY, and I'm really excited to be working on this anime and just to do it. I'm going to be wearing it to Tucson Comic Con, so yeah, it's pretty simple and easy. I don't know, I thought just by the way that her vest looked, it would be a lot harder, and I couldn't find any tutorials or DIYs. I think I found one and it was on Cosplay Animo, but I don't know, the way the girl did it, it sounded way more complicated. And so this is how this is clearly the back part, and then here is the front part, which doesn't look like a whole lot. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like on. And as you see by the photo, she has like a bandeau and then a neck part, but I'm going to do those in a separate video. This video is just going to be strictly about how I made the base part of this vest. And FYI, it is going to be very picture heavy because when I made this, when I actually made this piece, my battery for my camera was completely dead, and we just figured out it's actually the charger, so I have to buy a new charger. But at the time I wasn't too sure, so I was looking for like a cord and everything, so I ended up just taking a ton of photos of the process. But I will be super detailed in explaining everything and kind of what is going on in every single photo. So here is one part of the neck piece, which is going to wrap around the neck like this, and then I'm going to have another one coming from over here. I still have to add the black border around it, but here's how it looks minus my top. Here's this, and then down below we have this piece right here. We have this piece, and I still have to add the piece that goes in the middle here, the strap that goes in the middle, and the buttons on the side. And then we have the back part, and this is how the back looks. So it fits really well, and yep. So if you guys want to see how to do this, then just keep on watching. Hey everyone, so here are all of the materials that I used essentially to make the vest. Some of these will be used a little bit later, but I did a happy yard for the liner, and also for just a white fabric that I found, which is from the Yaya Han cosplay line that is with Joanne's. I did 2.5 yards of an elastic trim, which I then also cut down the middle to give myself a little bit more to work with. And then I did 1/4 of a yard for some 4-way stretch jersey knit fabric that I found, and you don't need a whole lot because it's just for the bandeau. So yeah, as far as making the pattern, I essentially used an old t-shirt that I haven't worn in like forever, and I put it on, and I just used duct tape, to be quite honest, as you guys can see, to kind of map out just the general areas of everything, so I wanted it to stop and where I wanted the sleeves and armholes essentially to start. And then from there, I went ahead and I cut out the pattern, and this is just showing you guys kind of how I also did the back part as well, and I adjusted things. Once I kind of had a little general rough pattern going on, I went ahead and I cut off the bottom part, and then I cut off the sleeves, and I also just kind of rounded out the sleeve area. One side, as you can see, looks better than the other. The side that doesn't have the duct tape on the sleeve side is the better side, and I went ahead and made work of that side of the t-shirt for my pattern, if that makes any sense. You guys will see in like literally 2 seconds what I'm talking about. So first I separated the front and the back pieces, and then I cut the front and the back pieces in half from each other, and then I took the side that was better, so the side that didn't have duct tape on the arm part, I then went ahead and I mapped out the inner part of the vest for the front piece, and I pinned them down to make sure that everything matched as I was adjusting the pattern to get ready to transfer it over to the fabric. Okay, so actually cutting out the pattern was pretty easy and basic. I folded the fabric in half hot dog style, and then I placed the back pattern, or back pattern piece, on the folds, and I cut it out from there. And then Viola, you have your one full back piece, and you don't have to worry about sewing 2 pieces together, and that's what you want, is just one seamless back piece, because you do have to paint the emblem and everything like that on the back. And I did the same thing for the lining part as well. And then also for the lining, as you can see, I pinned all the way around and then I left the bottom part completely open. That way, once I was done sewing that, I could turn it inside out or right side up, and then I would sew the bottom part after that and then iron it all down. Okay, so for the front part of the vest, I essentially just pinned the pattern down to the fabric. Again, I folded it, but I didn't cut on the fold. I cut away from the fold. That way I had a left side and a right side, and I didn't have to worry about like flipping the pattern over or anything like that. They both came out really, really well. And then I did the same thing for the lining, and I just used the fabric pieces that I cut out to get pretty much the same effect. You can cut on the fold, but you just want to make sure that you cut the fold itself. That way you can pull the pieces apart. And then here are how they look laid out. So as you can see, the big middle part is where the bandeau bra and everything else will go. So for the neck straps, I just pretty much chose a length and a width, and I made just a strip across the fabric, and I did it on the fold. That way I could just cut it in half, and I did the same thing for the lining. It's super basic and easy, and it's better to cut them too long rather than cut them too short, because it looks kind of weird just adding fabric versus taking away fabric. So here I'm just showing you guys how it looks with the lining. So as you can see, the folded over part is the part that I originally sewed, and then on the inside that's a little bit rougher. That is where I pretty much, I guess you can call it top stitching, after I folded everything over and ironed it down. On the clean and pretty side, you want to top stitch the opening and you're pretty much done. And then on top of that, we are going to add the elastic, or I just added the elastic band. And you want to leave the shoulder part completely empty because you're going to attach that to the back shoulder of the back part of the vest, obviously. And I actually decided to take away some of the elastic and on the inside, which you guys will see a little bit later, but it was pretty easy to do, and I didn't stretch the elastic. I just kind of sewed it how it was. I stretched it on the back part, which you guys will see in a minute, and I just felt it looked a little weird, so I decided not to stretch it for anything else and just kind of left it how it was. Alright, so here's the back part, and as you can see on one of the armholes, I just stretched the elastic a little bit. It doesn't really have that big of effect, or at least I haven't noticed anything. It is, I guess you could say, a wee bit tighter, but nothing too crazy. As far as sewing everything together, you're going to do pretty sides facing each other, line up the shoulder and the side seams, pin them down, and just sew those down, and you're pretty much done. Alright, so here's what I was talking about with the neck straps. I cut some of the elastic, as you guys can see, just in the middle part right there, because actually when I looked at her photo again, I realized that they kind of connect together and it's really seamless. So I went ahead and did that, and then I'm going to add the trimming to the neck piece. And yeah, so that's pretty much how I'm going to be attaching the neck strap, but that will be in another video. And I went ahead and I painted on her emblem, which you can just kind of get online and copy it yourself. And then I found a size that I liked, and I went ahead and I did it with paper. I did the pattern out with paper, cut it out, placed it, pinned it down, traced it, and then I went ahead and painted it with just a black acrylic paint. You can use fabric paint, but I had acrylic paint on me, and that's what I used. So I hope this video was helpful. I know it was super talkative in terms of photos, but this is just the process that I went through because I didn't have any way to film it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys all later. Bye!